Snow way, lady. Not my story but from my Phil. So my in-laws, fake names Fred and Wilma, moved into a new housing development about 40 years ago and developed a lasting friendship with their neighbors, Barney and Betty. It was a sort of friendship where they did pretty much everything together and the kids were in and out of each other's houses every day it seems. The houses had large yards and both couples were avid gardeners who took great pride in their yards. My Phil said that, after he retired, taking care of the yard was what he did all season. Fast forward to a couple of years ago, Barney passed away and Betty struggled to keep the house and yard in shape. She eventually hired a company to do the yard and my Phil did the snow clearing from her driveway and sidewalk as he had the time now that the yard maintenance was nothing. This went on for 3 years. Betty decided she had had enough of keeping up a big house and yard so downsized into an apartment in an assisted living facility. The house was sold to a woman with 2 older teenagers. She was very standoffish when Fred and Wilma welcomed them to the neighborhood. A couple of weeks later, Phil was barbecuing on the back deck when the new neighbor came pounding at the door and yelling about her being vegan and the smell was making her sick. She even said she would call the police if Phil didn't stop. Well, Phil had finished anyway so the matter was settled. Mill told Phil to move the barbecue to the other side of the deck out of sight and where the smells would not reach the new neighbor. Any easy fix and of little inconvenience to the Phil. Mill also preferred to avoid confrontation. A mostly uneventful summer and fall passed and Phil noticed that the neighbor was using the same care company for the yard. The teenagers were seldom seen, certainly never doing yard work, and the mother appeared to spend most of her time away from the house. Then winter came, as it does, with a couple of light snow showers which didn't require any clearing. Then a significant blizzard happened one night and Phil cleared his driveway and sidewalk. He came back in to warm up and have another coffee. Just as he sat down, there was a pounding at the door and one of the teenagers was standing there. Phil opened the door and the kid says, "Mom wants to know when you are going to clean our driveway. She has to leave." Keep in mind, Phil has never been introduced to the teenagers and this was the only time they had interacted. The kid trudged home when Phil says he's not. Minutes later, the neighbor is pounding at the door screaming about this breach of contract and that she expects the same service as Betty received. Phil told her that he only helped Betty out as a friend but the neighbor was having none of that. She stormed away and, apparently, tried to get the police involved. She also talked to at least one lawyer about suing Phil for this failure. Phil knows this because she approached Phil's lawyer and the lawyer, who turned down the suit, asked Phil what was going on. The neighbor never did take any action but badmouthed Phil and Mill to every other neighbor. She eventually was a pariah in the neighborhood because of similar interactions with most of the other families around. Phil still waves at her whenever he was clearing his driveway and especially when she was stuck in hers.